Channel 33 RPM.
Today, a thrift store score, including some metal and classic rock, plus channel swag. Be right back.
Channel 33 RPM, yeah. 33 RPM. Channel 33 RPM, yeah. Final gear and more.
Hey everyone, Frank here, Channel 33 RPM, the YouTube channel all about vinyl gear and more. Still coming at you with a whole new episode every single Sunday. Check it out. I got Channel 33 RPM t-shirts. I got a batch of these made, and they're mostly for family and friends, but I do have some extras left over. If any of you are interested, I will leave a link up here somewhere and below this video. Moving on to the topic of today's video. As many of you know, or those of you who watch this channel regularly know, I like to hit up the thrift store once in a while. For the most part, I find absolutely nothing, but every once in a while I do score some good stuff, which I did this week. Some hard rock and metal and rock, vinyl, and some cassettes. Check it out. First up, Neil Young's Harvest. And I grew up in Winnipeg, that's my hometown, and Neil Young has almost a mythical status in that community. He attended high school just down the street from where I grew up, so when I see Neil Young albums, I do tend to grab them. This one was released in 1972 and contained songs like Heart of Gold and Old Man, and interestingly, this was the #1 selling album in the US the year it came out. Next up, Black Sabbath, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, and I couldn't believe I found this one. It's not my favorite Sabbath album, but this is definitely one of my favorite Black Sabbath album covers, and of course there are great tracks on here, my favorite being the title track, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Next up, I also found the 1973 debut from Queen. Growing up, I was never a huge Queen fan, but in the past decade, I've really discovered the brilliance of these guys, particularly Freddie Mercury. Glad to have the debut in the collection. I already have a few copies of this one in the collection, but I'm never gonna say no to a Judas Priest record, particularly if it's in very good plus condition at a thrift store for $1.99. Judas Priest 1980 album, British Steel. Of course, this album had tracks on it like Breaking the Law and Living After Midnight, but some of my favorites are the deeper cuts, including You Don't Have to Be Old to Be Wise, The Rage, and Steeler. Flipping through the records, I also came across this one, Blizzard of Oz, Ozzy Osbourne's 1980 debut, and this is another record where I do have several different pressings of it, but again, I'm never gonna say no to this one of my favorite albums of all time. Honestly, I never need to hear songs like Crazy Train, Suicide Solution, or Mr. Crowley again, but there's definitely deeper tracks on here which I still love listening to, including No Bone Movies, Steal Away the Night, and of course, Revelation Mother Earth. Flipping through the records, I also found the Wings' 4th album, Venus and Mars. I gotta admit it, and this is hard to say because so many of you guys are Beatles fans, but I'm not a Beatles fan. I understand the significance of them, I respect their body of work, but I was just never a fan. Same goes with some of their solo stuff. I had a copy of this. I sold it this past summer, but this one was on the shelf as $1.99. I figured I would give it another chance. I also grabbed Rush's Moving Pictures, released in 1981. This was their 4th studio album, and of course it's a classic with tracks on here like Tom Sawyer, the instrumental YYZ, and Limelight. Who can forget Limelight? And the final one I grabbed at the thrift, Alice Cooper Goes to Hell, an underrated Alice Cooper album if there ever was one. This was his 2nd official solo album following the mega successful Welcome to My Nightmare. I was gonna say I love this album. I like this album. I really like this album, particularly the tracks Go to Hell and You Gotta Dance. Those were the records. I also grabbed some cassettes because I do grab cassettes when I see them. The cassettes were $1 each. maybe $2. No, the cassettes were $1 each. So I grabbed Rat out of the cellar, the Cult Electric, Van Halen 5150, and finally more Canadian rock, White Heat with their album We Never Heard of You Either. What are some of your best thrift store pickups? I love hearing these kind of stories, and I'm sure others do too. Let us know in the comments below. Remember, if you enjoyed this episode, to leave a quick like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, join the community. Click that button and you will never miss another episode again. Until next time, vinyl friends, keep on spinning.